So, good morning everyone. So, our topic is all about the use of bamboo to indigenous people as a source of living by Group 6. So, the members' name are Mr. Cañeta Roderick B., Cortez Marian D., Quaresma Joy May M., De La Cruz Ella Mariel, Fronda Princess Nina G., and Rubinius Mark Aris M. So the reason why we conduct this research, for us to know it's still a lot of people still purchasing bamboo products because we've seen how technology affect our way of living because of trends. We want to know if the source of living of indigenous people was still in demand and patronizing despite of having a lot of aesthetically design available in the market. For the chapter 1 on its problem and its background. So bamboo is known as the plant of thousand uses and plays an important socio-economic role, being intimately associated with humankind since ancient times. As one of the most important non-timber forest resources, bamboos have been used for many purposes, particularly by indigenous community, such as building materials, as well as making baskets, novelty items, boats, kitchen utensils, and so much more. So in ancient time, bamboo product is one of the main resources of ancient people since they are using it in their everyday lives through building a house, just as a kitchen utensils, like what I mentioned a while ago. Also, their uses is at a transportation or boat. Their boat are made of bamboo, so as we can see, bamboo is one of the main product that ancient people using since that are the available resources on their era. And you know that bamboo also can use in multiple ways, reason why it has a big impact to the socio-economic role. Moreover, bamboos also offer a wide range of potential solutions to address the problems and hardship that may come with the climate change. Generally, most of the people living in the rural area do not have easy accessibility to modern commodities. That's why they had to rely upon forest resources to fulfill their basic needs. Furthermore, people that are from afar to the city also uses bamboos to provide their everyday needs through selling it and make profit from it. And also, almost of their furniture is made from bamboos. I mentioned in the first slides that their boat are also made of bamboo since they are traveling in water, more on water. So boat was the main transportation that they are using during that time. Also, those people who are living in forests are also have limited resources in their area, and bamboo is one of the easiest way for them to provide their everyday needs or to sustain their necessities. So, for the introduction, so this is the third slide. Indigenous people have been economically empowered by wearing various types of bamboo products, focusing on traditional and modern market demand, as well as selling and utilization of earned money to uplift the livelihood of the family. Indigenous people cultivate bamboo to fulfill their daily needs. In addition, since we are living wherein technology has been the center of life of a lot of people, indigenous people are affected on it because their products are made of bamboo. As what we are observed to the indigenous community, also went to the near cities in their area and sell their products at a cheaper price for them to make profit on it. In this study, we want also to figure it out as still many people purchasing and supporting local businesses through buying variety bamboo products coming from indigenous people. It's been hard for them to compete in the main trends, but we are believe that the uniqueness of their product is one of the big reason why they are still choosing bamboo products as the source of their everyday living. For the first three statements of the problem, the first one is what is the impact of bamboo on the indigenous life Secondly, does the production of bamboo really help indigenous people survive? 3, how can bamboo sustain indigenous communities? So, for this 3 question, this is for the indigenous people. How could bamboo can earn, for them to earn a profit and make them as a source of the living? And we want also to know, like what I mentioned in to the introduction, that since we are more in the trends, how could the indigenous people still manage to make a profit or become the livelihood source of income for them to survive? Followed by the fourth statement of the problem, which is, what are the things or products that usually made out of bamboo? Who are the individuals that often purchase bamboo product? Do people still care about bamboo product despite the growing trend? So this is for the purchaser or for the consumer, since we seen as we can observe that few people are still supporting the local businesses, such as to be specific on the bamboo product. So we want to know if what are the usually product that they are purchasing from the indigenous people that made of bamboo. For the second one is, who are like the student, their parents or their relatives who's still buying or purchasing a bamboo product. And for the last one is, we want to know if they are still cares. For also, we also have a 6 objectives for of the study. So the first one is to determine the impact of bamboo on indigenous life. How could they survive for just using a bamboo as a source of their income, despite of they are afar on the cities or rural area. Secondly is to identify the production of bamboo really help indigenous people strive. So it is also the same for the first question. It's just like that. We just want to identify how could they produces the bamboo product, and how could that product could help them to their businesses. So third is to identify how could they produces the bamboo product, and how could that product could help them to their businesses. So third is to identify how can bamboo sustain indigenous communities. So like what I said, a lot of indigenous communities still uses bamboo products as a source of their income or living. They are still making like a lot of furnitures, coin bank, and so much more that they could offer using the material of bamboo products. And we want to know if this still can sustain their everyday lives, since they are limited and limited people purchasing on their product. So for the objectives nga, we want lang to answer the 6 question for the statement of the problem, for us to know how could the indigenous people still surviving or striving through selling a different or variety of bamboo products, and who are the people that are still purchasing or consume their products.
Significance of the study. The importance of this study is that it highlights the use of bamboo to indigenous people and its benefits and use to the following users. Definition of terms. In the context of this study, the following terms are defined to have the same reference and the same understanding of the terms used in this study. First is to the students. This research will give them a clear understanding about the importance of bamboo to the lives of indigenous people that will serve as their guide in the near future. Second is to the government. This research will help them know how bamboo support indigenous communities. It also emphasizes the practices that should be made in order to secure the lives of indigenous people and the country's resources. Third is to the business industry. This research will help the industries to fully understand the worth of bamboo resource as well as the perceptions of the customers that purchases bamboo products. This research will help them maximize their potential by using bamboo in creating various products that can be offered on the market. And lastly, to the future researchers. In the near future, other researchers might need this research as their reference or as related studies. The first term used was bamboo. Based on the Merriam-Webster dictionary, bamboo is a various woody or arborescent grasses of tropical and temperate regions, having hollow stems, thick rhizomes, and shoots that are used for food. In this study, bamboo refers as one of the sources of living of the indigenous people. The next term used was livelihood. Based on the Google Dictionary, it is a means of supporting one's existence, especially financially or vocationally living. In this study, it refers to how indigenous people uses bamboo resource in order to survive. The last term used was indigenous people. Based on the Google Dictionary, indigenous people are distinct social and cultural groups that share collective ties to the lands and natural resources where they live, occupy, or from which they have been displaced. In this study, it refers to the people that uses bamboo as their source of living.
Chapter 2 Reviews of Related Literature and Studies. This chapter emphasizes on discussion of the evolution of literature on the uses of bamboo to indigenous people as their source of living. A foreign. Bamboo is a plant in the Poaceae family that is economically important. So basically, bamboo are important in financial areas, especially in the ethnic group. According to our research, ethnic group can use the bamboo for different forms, like variety of purposes including food, beverage, and their processing, fodder, medicine, house construction, fishing, and the handicraft industry. We can use if we introduce it for the public and commercial use. Advance in technology, such as pathways engineering, should be used to improve traits for the better bioresource exploitation. So with the skill of the tribe's craftsmen and the help of our modern technology, like better tools and equipment, making handicrafts from bamboo can be more efficient and cost-effective. Logically, it is important that all bamboo species must be properly identified. Well, due to wide variety of bamboo, it is important to know what type of bamboo is the best to use for the kind of product to maximize the quality of it in order not to compromise its value. It is deeply discouraged not to use the layman's term in identifying bamboo species in place due to the what it called towns and province in the Philippines. We have encountered numerous taxonomic people due to the war. Verification is impossible for the reason that the previously collected specimen has been burned. New collections were only made in the late 1980s when the Philippine Plant Inventory Project was implemented with Dr. Benjamin Stone as the consultant. So with the help of the mentioned individuals, new collections have been made and identified, and PPIP or Philippine Plant Inventory Project has implemented. In 1989, Dr. Wijaya visited the Philippines and conducted a training course on bamboo taxonomy. She visited different parts of the country to identify various bamboos. In 1993, Dr. S. Dransfield also visited different parts of country, specifically in Luzon area. She collected specimens of Psychotacum and Dinocloa, which needed further verification. Since then, she studied, revised, and published articles on the said bamboo species. In 1994, Rojo et al. Conducted a 3-year project bamboos field guide for the identification of erect bamboos grown in the Philippines, collected botanical materials from the field for taxonomic study, provided updated nomenclature of the species, and produced a guidebook for their identification. In this project, 42 erect bamboo species were identified and described. A key for the identification was construct. Bamboo biodiversity and conservation in these times of natural and man-made disaster and calamities is very important. Due to increase in human population and in times of occurrences of various disasters, it is important to have a control in bamboo biodiversity and conserve its species. This is also the result of its status as a poor man timber and a minor forest and natural resource in the past decades. This paper generally aims to disseminate the back to basics, importance of bamboo and bamboo shoots, campaign for its continued planting and advocate for better appreciation of its use as foods, especially to a generation that has been alienated from traditional foods items. Genetic conservation for this crop species is being promoted not only for food and wellness, but also for its vital role in the environment. It specifically present the status and prospect of bamboo shoots as potential food source in the Philippines. Some unpublished data and observation on shoot characteristics and plantation establishment of some local bamboo species are also presented, as well as the economic benefits of bamboo shoot farming based on the previous studies. Problem is bamboo shoot R&D, constraints in production, and utilization are also enumerated. The paper also encouraged the continuous and reinvigorated use of bamboo shoots as food source in the Philippines. The current prospects of bamboo initiatives are also discussed. With the above aims, bamboo will be renewable resource in this most vulnerable time of climate change.
This chapter outlines the method that was used for the study and adopted the following structure: the research design, selection of the study, scope and delimitation, sampling design, data gathering instrument, and procedure. Research design. The exploratory research design was used in this study. This method was used to determine the use of bamboo to indigenous people as a source of living. The exploratory research design will help the researchers gather more insight about the problem of the study. Selection of the study. The respondents are people from Tarlac. The researchers conveniently have chosen the particular selection to be interviewed, as they are one of the vital cores in this research. The data gathering instrument. The researchers use survey questionnaires to be conducted for the selections. The survey questionnaires aim to know the use of bamboo to indigenous people as a source of living. The researchers listed all the necessary questions to be answered by the selected respondents of the study. The questions are relevant to the study because all the answers will serve as reliable data on which researchers will use to carry out this research effectively. The data gathering procedure. The information needed for this research will be gathered through the use of online survey and face-to-face interviews with the indigenous people. Face-to-face interviews will be conducted in selected areas of the respondents. The researchers also understood the confidentiality of the selection while answering the aforementioned questions, so the researchers gave people the options of being unspecified.
Chapter 4: Presentation, Analysis, and Interpretation of Data. This chapter shows the gathered data and the researchers' analysis and interpretation of the results of the interview conducted. The data were presented in a clear and concise form, most of which use tables. Questionnaires were provided to indigenous people and normal people who produce and buy bamboo products. The researchers interviewed 5 indigenous people and 20 normal people who buy bamboo products for a total of 25 respondents. All respondents Answers were tabulated in accordance with the specific questions listed in the problem statement. Table 1 shows that 95% of the respondents are students and 5% are employed. Therefore, most of the respondents who answered the questionnaire were students. Table 2 shows that 90% of the respondents purchase bamboo products and 10% of the respondents are not. Therefore, most of the respondents are purchasing bamboo products. According to Table 3, 2 or 11.1% of the respondents purchase bamboo toothbrush, while 4 or 22.2% of them are consuming bamboo straws and chopsticks. 7 or 38.95% of the respondents are using bamboo furniture, and 2 or 11.1% of purchase bamboo coin bank, and 3 or 16.7% of the respondents are purchasing other bamboo products. So as you can see, the table 4 shows how often do the respondents purchase bamboo products. The result shows that 35% of the respondents are purchasing bamboo products once or more times a month. 5% of the respondents buy bamboo products once or more times a week. 50% of the respondents buy bamboo products once in a year, and 10% of the respondents never purchase bamboo products. Therefore, most of the buyers of the bamboo products are purchasing once in a year. So ayan, kung makikita naman natin, sa Table 5, 10% of the respondent has the age of 5 to 10 years old when they began to buy bamboo products, 35% from the age of 11 to 16 years old, 45% from the age of 17 to 20 years old, and 10% from the age of 20 years old and above. Therefore, most of the respondents purchased bamboo products at the age of 17 to 20 years old. Table 6 shows the importance of the factors listed. Out of 20 respondents, 12 or 60% of them says that the product type is very important, and 8 or 40% for quite important. For the product quality, 17 or 85% of them voted for very important, and 3 or 15% for quite important. For the product brand, 6 or 30% of them says the product brand is very important, and 11 or 55% of them says that the product brand is quite important, while 3 or 15% of them voted for quite unimportant. For the product price, 14 or 70% of them says that the product price is very important, and 6 or 30% of them voted for quite important. So these are the reasons why are the consumers still purchasing bamboo products. So as you can see, 11 or 55% of the respondents, they considered buying bamboo products because it's durable. Next is 11 or 55% of them considered buying bamboo products because it's eco-friendly. And 9 or 45% of the respondents says that they considered reusable when they buying bamboo products, and 17 or 70% of the respondents voted long-term use when they buying bamboo products. 6 or 30% of them considered buying bamboo products because it's stylish. 4 or 20% of them considered buying products its price. And lastly, 1 or 5% says that there are other that they considered. So ayan, kung makikita naman natin sa Table 8, 65% of the selection prefer to go to the store to look for bamboo products. 20% of them are more likely to buy to a friend or family member, while 15% prefer to look at the online store, while some of them do not have preference when choosing where to buy. So in this table, or for the last table, 55% of the selection prefer both aesthetically product and bamboo product, while 25% of the respondents prefer only bamboo product, and the rest of them, which is the 20% of the respondents, prefer aesthetically product. Therefore, most of the respondents prefer both and bamboo product and trend products. So ayan, pumunta naman tayo sa survey results from the indigenous people. So, sa indigenous people, nag-interview kami ng 5 indigenous people. So, in this table, presents that 100% of the respondents was part of indigenous community. So, ayan, sa table 2, as you can see, table 2 presents that 100% of the indigenous people only have 10,000 below salary. So, on table 3, 100% of the respondents use bamboo products as their source of income. 4 shows that 100% of the respondents produce handicraft using bamboo. So, in this table, 40% of the indigenous people took more than 1 hour to make a bamboo handicraft, while 60% of them took a whole day in making bamboo handicraft. The table 6 shows that 80% of the respondents prefer to make furniture using bamboo material, while 20% of them prefer to make coin bank using bamboo. In this table, 100% of the respondents sell their bamboo products in the market. The table shows that 60% of the respondents has increased their average household income since they started making bamboo handicrafts, while 40% did not. The table shows that 100% of indigenous people have felt that their quality of life has changed since they started making bamboo handicrafts.
Conclusions. Number 1. Majority of the selection that the researchers interviewed are students. Because students were the ones who being on the trend side of our changing world, and also they are the person whom buy most likely stylish products, like for example made of bamboo. Number 2. Majority of the selection that often buy bamboo products are teenagers who ages 17 to 20 years old. This selection also prefer to buy bamboo furniture every once in a year. Moreover, most of the selection buy bamboo products because of its quality and long term of usage. When it comes on buying bamboo products, most of the selection often choose to go to the physical store. However, most of the selection still wants aesthetically trend products, not just the bamboo product itself. Because the quality of bamboo products is most likely far from other raw materials used in making products like plastics that we know are likely can damage our environment and other living things in our world. Bamboo is a raw material that used in making many products that we can benefit or use it in our life. Number 3. Majority of the indigenous selection have a monthly average income of below or less than 10,000 pesos. Number 4. Majority of the indigenous selection uses bamboo to create or produce bamboo products, particularly furniture and coin banks. In addition, they also sell these bamboo-made products in the market. Because furniture products came from bamboo is one of the products that can be sold in the market. Products like chairs, hammock, basket, etc. And number 5, majority of the selection have told that their income has increased since they started making bamboo products, which consequently changed their quality of life and became far more comfortable than ever. Bamboo is a raw material that is cheaper than any other materials. It can also be grown in your backyard, or you can get in forests nearby your area. Next is recommendations. Number 1. Buyers or purchasers must be aware of the seller's status. They should be more considerate in buying products that are originated in our country, and most especially when it was made by our brothers and sisters in the indigenous community. Everyone must support local products in order to help our own countrymen. Number 2. Indigenous people may consider to widen their horizon. They must also be educated and trained in making trendy bamboo products to attract more customers. Because of the world is moving towards far more modern aspects and the preferences of the people are also changing every so often.